Oh my God, what an idiot!
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
I gotta go.
Is it for the meme?
I gotta go.
Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
So, how have I grown as a person? Well, first, I wrote a response to the question so I won't have to have awkward pauses, as many at least. Secondly, I have an awful memory. So at the beginning of the year, I was unsure if I would have any of my old freshman friends in any of my classes, or if I even would be friends with them at all. I was shyer and did not interact with people as much. But as the year continued, I began to open myself up more, although not extremely, and at a very extremely slow rate. Despite that, I had shown at least some signs of not being embarrassed as often. I also learned to relax from schoolwork. It may be an unpopular opinion, and probably not good, but I learned that it is better to not worry about some things. Most of the time it works for me. It's just that I don't procrastinate a lot. I tend to do my work on time, at least. Another thing that I ended up doing was being more realistic and harsher with other people, more specifically with group members in my classes. You can't always be the nice guy, or you can't always just, be the nice person. Another thing that I ended up doing was taking more risks. It is better to do something new and different rather than just do absolutely nothing. Relating to the previous point, I also learned to talk to different people and to socialize with other people than just one group of particular friends. Sometimes it is okay to talk to different people. Other than that, I haven't really changed that much as a person. I've remained kind of the same person. Then again, I'm in the 10th grade. I'm not a freshman with, introductions, but I'm not a senior with my goodbyes.
The question that my group has is, how much have I grown as a person throughout the year? Well, in the beginning of the year, I was nervous, mainly because new teachers, but eventually I've gotten to get used to it. Just do your work. You should be fine. The teachers are amazing. Just do your work. Huge procrastinator. Still kind of am, but not as bad as the beginning of the year. I made a few friends. They helped me become a better person, and they've basically become like my reminders as to when a project is due. I've learned to speak up and actually voice my opinions and ideas despite having people hating me. I've grown to manage my time. Now, time management has always been a problem for me, but I've managed to improve. What I've learned throughout the years to not be so shy and actually ask for help, and staying after school for help, getting the help that I need to improve my grades and not fail. It's not much. I could go on into detail, but this is how much I've grown throughout the year. Thank you.
So this year I've gone through plenty of experiences through my educational life. I've learned how to manage my time wisely and to differentiate myself from having homework or going out with my friends on weekends. Because you gotta stay on top of your work, and you fall behind, you're kind of in a deep hole. And I've been in situations this year where I've been in those holes where I haven't been responsible like I'm supposed to be, but I've been slacking off a little bit in my classes, and that's happened to me recently. But like I don't know why it's been happening. Just because usually I'm on my A game all the time, but like just changed. But like this year, through the second semester, I've learned more about staying on top of my work, talking to my teachers more, going to tutoring, um, going with my friends, like not to go out, but like talking with them about like work and stuff. Like in lunch, we get together, we have like a little tutorial session at our table about like our classes and all that. Um, we all talk about, we help each other like on researching like for some classes on how to cite pages and all that. And we I just learned how to be more responsible and like more huh. I learned how to be more responsible with my work and just to cooperate with everybody and try to help other people be successful like the way just to help everybody be successful in general because I don't want to fall behind or people or leave people falling behind because like I want to be successful so like everybody else wants to be successful. Um, so that's the way I've changed this year, just time management, responsibilities, and just staying on task.
Hi, my name is Brock Bazell, and the question that I got to answer is how have I grown as a person throughout this year? I feel that I've grown as a person exponentially. I've learned a lot about myself and I've learned a lot about other people, and it's not only inside the classroom, that's myself as a whole, reflecting on what I believed in, how I acted, not even a year ago, even at the beginning of the year. It's quite embarrassing, it's quite disappointing, and I'm glad that I've changed as a person. I've grown and become more mature and have developed my own ways of thinking. And that's not, even though that's not directly shown through my attitude or my behavior, it's up here. One thing that I learned in this class that has helped me is that if you don't do your work, you're going to get kicked in the ass. It's very important to stay on top of things and to stay on task, because if you don't, you're going to fail, or you're going to get a very abhorrent grade. The class was really interesting because we did a lot of projects relating to real-world events, social issues specifically, whereas in other classes you don't really tackle that. You mainly tackle just the basics, you know. I'm a teacher. I don't want to create fun and interesting projects. I'm just here for the paycheck. No, but Miss Rodriguez, you can tell that she puts a lot of thought and effort into her projects. And
it's also really cool to see yourself develop over a period of time, not only in school, but as a person as a whole. And one thing I struggle with is making this video below 2
How have I grown as a person? Miss Rodriguez's class has made me more aware of the real world and has changed me more than any other class. She gives us tons of work, and because of that, it's really hard to procrastinate and get a good grade in her class. Since I've been in her class, I have stopped procrastinating and have been taking more pride in my grades. My grades have gradually improved because before I used to procrastinate and I'd only get at like 70s, which is barely passing every 6 weeks. I was always stressed out because of it, and I'm so glad that I no longer procrastinate and that I've gotten over that stage in my life because of her class. If you want to pass her class, I would suggest not procrastinating and getting work done as soon as possible, but don't just like rush through it. Make sure that you take your time also, if that makes sense, and like actually put effort into it, because she does not grade lightly and her assignments can be really difficult, and you have to make sure that you go into detail and that you make sure that you actually finish every little thing that she says, because it will be really bad on your grade, because she's not an easy class to pass. Her class is not easy to pass, but I believe that everybody can pass her class, and you got this.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you all are doing fantastic today. Now, freshmen. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know me because I like to hang out with a lot of you guys. But today we're going to be talking about Miss Rodriguez's class. You're going to have her next year. There's going to be some days where you love her. There's going to be some days where you hate her. Some more than others. But yeah, she's going to be your Monday and your Friday. You can't stand her, but then you love her. But it's going to be fine. You can handle it. I know you guys can. So basically, what I'm going to be talking about is how I've grown as a person thanks to Miss Rodriguez's class, and comparing myself at the beginning of the year to now. Well, I feel like I've made some progress in terms of time management. At the beginning of the year, I went in completely like blind. I didn't know much about Miss Rodriguez, and I wasn't 100% sure why a lot of people said that she was mean and like stuff like that. But she's really nice. She's a nice person. But at the beginning of the year, I was struggling really bad. So make sure you keep your head above water because you're going to start drowning if you don't get your stuff done. Personal experience, I know. You're not on this road alone. But how I've grown as a person, I've definitely become more aware of my time management. A lot of your classes are going to have a lot of CRAs and essays that you have to write, so that's going to be difficult to deal with, but once you start to really focus your attention on one thing and like going back to a different thing later, that's definitely a good tip. But yeah, managing my time wisely. Another thing is your writing. Each 6 weeks for not only this class but some of your other classes, you're going to have a lot of CRAs, and they may start out as like 2 pages, but by like your 5th or 4th 6 weeks you're going to be at like 5-6 pages long, as well as with the books. So what I want you to know about that is definitely stay on top of your writing, because you're going to get really behind if you don't like be mindful of all your assignments. But your writing will improve. If you're not a very good, proficient writer as of now, by the end of the year, that's definitely going to change. Because I wasn't all that great at writing. Like, I knew I had some decent writing skills, but thanks to Miss Rodriguez and like some of the things that she showed me, I've like been able to be a better writer, and I think I did really good on my STAR test, actually. So your reading is going to be a little difficult. There are some books that have questionable morals. Just throwing that out there. Brave New World is not all that good. But yeah, you're gonna start reading a lot of books, doing a lot of essays, and I know you guys can do it because a lot of the people that I talk to are really good. So I wish you guys all the best, and I'm going to be here next year. If you want to come talk to me, if you need advice about anything, just come find me. My name is Jayla.
Alright, hello, my name is Mario Avila, and so today I'm going to talk to you guys about Miss Rodriguez's class and how it helped me or improve from the beginning of the year to now. So, how I've grown, that's what it was. So let me tell you about Rodriguez. She's in English 2 for 10th grade. So you guys are gonna have her next year. That's why you're watching this video, because you're in her class, obviously. So there's a lot of main differences from from freshman to sophomore. First of all, is the CRAs, which are annoying and suck. All right. So some teachers, they do by the rules, or whatever, not the rules, but what you're supposed to do, and just give their students 1 CRA each semester. But then there's some people like Miss Rodriguez that are trying to help you prepare for college, which, you know, it's kind of good, I guess, in the long run, but right now it sucks because I'm not in college. But, I mean, it has helped me write better and manage my time. I'll get to that in a second. So she gives us a CRA each 6 weeks. So yeah, and then just gonna keep getting progressively harder. Like, one's gonna be 2 to 3, and then next is gonna be 3 to 4, and so on and so forth. So yes, those CRAs have helped me write better, and I think I did good on my STAR. I wrote better, but not faster, like the speed. But I think it was pretty good. She also helped me manage my time better, to where I'm not procrastinating that much as I was last year.
Hi, my name is Rudy Sanchez. Hopefully, by the time you're watching this, I am a junior now at New Tech, and y'all are upcoming sophomores. So first, I'd like to congratulate y'all for achieving that, making it to sophomore year. You know, it might not feel like a big achievement to y'all, but moving up any grade level is a very big accomplishment, and you should really take it into consideration how hard y'all have worked. Hopefully, how hard y'all worked freshman year. You know, so our question and evidence I'm going to give you is, how have I grown as a person? I'll just start from the beginning, just like my thoughts about sophomore year and how it is now or today when you're watching this. So at the beginning of the year, I was really excited to start my sophomore year because my freshman year, I thought it was very easy and fun. You know, we didn't have to really work that hard. We had a biology teacher, Mr. Avalos, which was really cool. He didn't teach us much, but he was a really good biology teacher. And now you have Mr. Martinez, or you had Mr. Martinez, and I heard he's very tough on you. But after that, when I was now in the middle of the year, I think it's been okay. You know, all the projects and CRAs start rolling in, and you know, when you're coming out of freshman year, you probably think, oh, the hard stuff's gonna come before start to prepare us for STAR, and you know, at the end of the year where they just torture you. But no, the first, second 6 weeks, that's when it's gonna hit you like a truck. You know, it's not gonna come later. It's gonna come right when you enter the gates of hell of sophomore year. No, not really, but yeah, it's gonna be hard. The CRAs, the projects, the little assignments, they're gonna be hard, and the facilitators are just preparing you for college. You know, into the middle end of the year. I just feel comfortable with myself attending at New Tech. I'm more social. Not saying I wasn't, but I'm probably more social and comfortable with the people I am around with at New Tech. You know, they're fun, cool people, and you should be very happy with the people that are around you. Unlike, you know, annoying, weird people at, you know, if you go to OHS or Permian. But now, after completing all that stuff at the end of the sophomore year, you know, it was very tough, but I'm very glad and happy that I went through it. All the facilitators pushed me, and they're going to push everyone else to the max on working and preparing you for college. I think it was worth it. Well, I hope it's worth it, because it will help me later when I'm a junior, senior in college, hopefully, if I make it into college, which I hope I do. But it doesn't matter what subjects it is. It could be art to the hardcore subjects, and all the teachers, facilitators, they're going to push you to the max on projects and CRAs. But I used to be a big procrastinator. Not that much anymore. I still do, you know. You'll say you'll do it in an hour, but you never do it. But that's the only advice I really have, and that's how I've grown as a person. So I hope I answered the question very well, and for the new sophomores, good luck, because...
Hello, my name is Lucia Nobrete. I am a sophomore, obviously. Some piece of advice I have for you upcoming sophomores is that you can't slack off this year at all. You have to work, you have to take time and effort to actually finish your projects and get everything completed. You cannot rely on group members, you cannot rely on friends, you cannot rely on teachers who just pass you. You actually have to do your work. The sophomore teachers are a little more strict on late work than most freshman teachers though. In sophomore year, you have much more deadlines, you have much more projects. But then sophomore year as well, you have a whole bunch of projects at the exact same time. You have a whole bunch of essays due at the same time. You have everything around the same time. You have to learn how to be productive and not get stressed and overwhelmed with absolutely everything your teachers give you. Another thing is that don't really complain about your work. The other grade levels have it much harder than you sophomores. Another thing is if you get stuck with a shitty group, learn how to fire people. Learn how to fire anybody you feel won't do their job. You can even fire yourself if your whole entire group is just plain crap. Just fire yourself. If you don't have any type of control of your group, your whole project's gonna suck. Basically, it really is. Learn how to have communication with your teachers. Learn how to have a good relationship with them. Establish that. Because if there's something going on in your life, or something's going on that you couldn't finish the work, they will try to help you out and not count off so many points. The teachers here are very understanding and they'll understand where you're coming from. Lastly, the last piece of advice, as cliche as it sounds, have fun, get your work done, and don't get overwhelmed with the work, even though it could be very overwhelming. Just don't do it, okay? Be productive, just have everything on time, and you'll be good.
So I'm going to give you a little advice that'll help you in being a sophomore. Now, you're in freshman year and you think, oh, all this work's hard. This work is insane. Now, you'll feel like that, but you won't know what you're feeling until you hit sophomore year, because sophomore year is way more harder than sophomore year is way more harder than freshman year. The workload is way bigger. The teachers push you a lot more, make you do more work, and it's just more insane. Now, my advice to you is to always do your work. Always. No matter the circumstance, just always do your work. If you can always do your work, you can pass. If teachers are taking notes, you want to always take notes because they're always good to have whenever you need to look back on something and just think. Now, when taking notes, you are going to have to write fast because teachers will fly through on slides sometimes like they're nothing. And instead of writing everything down on your notes, you're going to want to summarize your notes as well, because that helps quite a bit and saves a lot more much time and room. What else? Let me think. Don't slack off. Never slack off, because slacking off just makes it worse, and it makes your year just get harder and harder. And then if you slack off the entire year, it's gonna really kick you in the butt at the end. And what else? I think that's it. So that's my advice to you. Take this to heart and use it.
My name is Karina Cortines, and I'm going to be giving incoming sophomores general advice. Probably one of the most important advice that I could ever give anybody is listening to your parents. Your parents know what's best for you, and they're just trying to help you out. They're wise, so just listen to your parents. Talk to different people. There's a whole bunch of different cultural backgrounds, beliefs, customs, traditions, and all that. It's just amazing to get to know. especially if you're not familiar with, a certain culture. It's very eye-opening, and it gives you a new perspective on how you view the world. It's very interesting. Talk to different people. Begin to develop your extracurricular activity profile very early. Like begin to volunteer or play a sport or play an instrument. A lot of programs like the National Honor Society, LVN, criminal justice, programs that school offer. They really like to see people with a strong character and that have like a long list of extracurricular activities. And it really shows that you're responsible and committed and active within your like community. So start developing your extracurriculars. Also, try and learn a new language. Being a Spanish and a English speaker, I've come to certain situations where I was able to help both people due to their like language barriers. And although it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, it's really helpful to know 2 different languages, and it's a great blessing if you do. So cherish that also. So yeah, have fun your sophomore year. Time will pass. Be happy. Don't worry about a thing. So that's my advice. Bye.
Hey kiddos. I guess I'm supposed to do some advice for this year that you're coming in, and it's pretty simple. Just don't procrastinate, because I procrastinated and it didn't work out well for me. Hopefully if you see this, I barely passed, or maybe I'm in your class right now and I'm looking dumb, but yeah. And oh yeah, always do your work nice, because Miss what's it called? Our teachers really know when you're doing stuff like if you do stuff last minute. Huh? Okay, yeah. And oh yeah, you have to write fast. You better have a fast hand, because some of our teachers take notes like that. And yeah. Don't skip, because that gets you nowhere. Not that I've skipped, but I'm pretty sure it gets you nowhere. Yeah. Some advice is buy Ms. Valadez's candy grams if she's still here, because I did and she loves me for some reason, probably just because I'm Mexican. Be cool with Miss Rodriguez, because she'll be cool with you if you're cool with her. If you have Miss Davis, just say hi. Yeah. Yeah. Peace.
What advice do you have for the upcoming sophomores in relation to Mrs. Rodriguez's class, and why? Provide reasons.
One of the main reasons one of the main things I think you need to pass your class would probably be do every single assignment, because people think, oh, if I don't do this assignment, it won't affect my grade that much. It'll only take this amount off. But literally every assignment makes your grade. If you don't do one, it's going to take so many points off. And then assignments that you don't do just kind of add up. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, like you're failing the class. And so I would say definitely don't procrastinate, because it does add up in the end. And then also, like, she's a really nice person, but I don't say take her personality for advantage, because she's there to help you, she's there to care for you, but yet
If you don't do your work, there will be consequences, and in the end, she'll be very mad. And it's just not right to take advantage of a teacher like that. And also, it's a privilege to have a teacher as good as her. So I think it's just don't take advantage of her. And then and another thing I would think is put in your best ability to every assignment you have, because she will check for that, and she will notice who's doing what and how much quality they're putting into their work. And so she really appreciates that, and I just think you'll learn so much more if you really put your heart into what you're doing, and if you really take the time and put your all into like your assignments. And if you do that, you just be like kind of set on your grade, you'll be impressing your teacher, and then you'll just be good for that class, really. So I think, so one, don't procrastinate, do your work. Every single one assignment counts. Don't take advantage of the time you have and your teacher, and then just do your best in everything you have.
Okay, so another thing is, do not plagiarize. If you plagiarize, you are going to greatly be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Do not do that, because not only will you get a referral, but you have to make up the assignment and add more. So like, there's a good chance she'll make you like write a paper over the assignment, redo it, and like explain why you did it. And like, you're also gonna get in trouble like with the actual school. You'll get a referral. So do not plagiarize. Yeah.
What advice do you have for the upcoming sophomores in relation to Miss Rodriguez's class, and why? Provide reasons.
Well, for starters, just because she is a person that does joke around does not mean you should take that as an opportunity to clown around in her class. She does not take that as something that will benefit you or anything like that. Yes, it is fine to have a little humor in her class or something, but don't joke around, don't fool off, don't make it to where your work ends up late, because she will not forgive you for it. She won't curve your grade or anything like that. She's not one of those people that does that. She takes her work very seriously, so make sure you're always on top of it. It may seem like a lot combined with your other classes, but in reality, it's not. It just seems like it. Don't take her class lightly, because it is one of the 4 cores that you need to graduate. So don't procrastinate, because her work is one of those that has deadlines, it has things you need to reach, and if you work on it a little bit each day before the deadline, you will get it done. But don't make it one of those things where you're trying to do on the bus without Wi-Fi and the day it's due, because there's no point. It won't get a good grade because you clearly didn't put effort into it. She cares about the effort and the work that's put into it, and that accounts for a lot of your grade. Half of your grade is knowing your stuff, and then another half is how it looks. Did you put effort into it? Is it something you forged last minute, or is it something you clearly put your time into? And sometimes that can be something that really hurts or makes your grade. So just make sure that like when you do her work that you are actually trying on stuff like that. And it's fine to have humor in her class. She's a pretty funny person when it comes down to it, but don't just like try to make the entire class nothing but a big joke. She will not appreciate that, and she will lose her temper on you. So, like I said, don't procrastinate, put effort into your work, and don't constantly joke around in her class.
Okay, one thing that I do want to say is that you have to turn your work on time, because if you don't, you're screwed. There's going to be a lot of work, not going to lie, but you just have to you have to learn how to manage your time and work wisely, and do the work as best as you can. Don't try to slack it, or don't try to turn in sloppy work. Don't plagiarize, because you will get in trouble. Ms. Rodriguez finds out if you plagiarize or not. Don't procrastinate. That's going to lean towards every class, not just Ms. Rodriguez's class.
help out your group members, so don't let them do all the work in your group, but also don't do all the work by yourself. It's a group thing, it's a teamwork. And you also have to manage on how you're going to make your work or how you're going to do it. Try to make it the best as possible. On your essays are pretty hard, but if you manage how you're going to make them, then you can do it. It's not hard. By my experience, I had a long time, during a long time of the school year, I had a lot of trouble with turning in my essays because they were really hard. But if you're a good writer, then they shouldn't be that hard for you. I think that's it.
Some advice that I have for upcoming sophomores is to definitely do your work on time. Don't do it the day it's due or the day before it's due. Do it ahead of time so you won't have to worry about doing it so often. Another thing is to actually try to do your work. Don't just put random answers, or if you don't know an answer, don't just try to guess. At least try to understand it. And also ask questions if you need any help. It's really good to ask instead of just staying quiet. Another thing would be to come after school for help if you're not getting enough help in class and there's just like too many people asking questions and she doesn't have time for you. Like, come after school or before school. Another thing would be to listen. That's a big thing people have trouble doing, is listening to Ms. Rodriguez. Don't be so obnoxious and talking when she's talking, because what she has to say is important to you and your education. Thank you.
Okay, mistakes. There's a couple that you can very easily make in Rodriguez's class. The first is not firing people when they need to be fired. You will get bad groups. You will get very bad groups, okay? And if somebody doesn't do their work, you need to fire them. Don't say, they're fine, they'll do it later. Fire them. Otherwise, you're going to be days behind, it's going to suck, and nobody's going to like you because you're making them do work. And they don't like you because they don't like doing work and they don't want to do work, but you're trying to make them do work because you need to get a good grade. Yeah? Another mistake is that really don't talk about controversial subjects. Do not talk about controversial subjects. I repeat, do not talk about controversial subjects. There are very many mistakes that you can make when talking about something like this. For example, talking about this. That is a mistake. And if you do it, please don't do it loudly. That's a bad idea. And don't do it in class either. Thank you. This has been Avery Vega from NPO News. This is a new segment on mistakes. Signing out, Avery Vega from NPO News. I am repeating myself now. Avery Vega from NPO News.
He also still like another topic to do.
Yeah, you
Really?
also didn't.
Oh, okay. So when there's group projects, make sure that you choose something, a topic that you're actually comfortable with researching and working on. A lot of times you can choose a topic and it's not very interesting and no one wants to research it or no one knows anything about it, and because of that your end product always turns out very shoddy or not very well put together. So please class, future freshmen, just make sure that you choose your topics wisely. Do it over something that you know at least a little bit about. It has officially been 2 minutes. Once again, this is Avery Vega from NPO News, signing out.
Hi, my name is Jordan, and I'm currently a sophomore. That's about it. So, today I'm here to tell you about my biggest mistake this year, which was probably the same as like every other year before that, but this year we're getting better, and that is procrastination. Yeah. That is the one thing that I have extreme trouble with every year. And this year especially, I would highly recommend not doing that. So, this year we had a lot more projects and a lot more work than I was initially expecting, because last year was kind of a lot easier for, I think, a lot of people. Last year was just a lot easier than this year was, so this year kind of like hit us all in the face. And so, yeah, I procrastinated on a lot of things at the beginning of the year, and then I started to realize that, like, the more I did that, the more work started to pile up, and then the worse it got. So I started using this, which is, yeah, it's just a planner, which I had in middle school, but, like, I never used it because I didn't see the point of using it, and now it's like a savior, an angel. We stand this planner. So, yeah, if you are a sophomore right now, if you have a problem with procrastinating or just not doing your work on time or forgetting about work assignments and things, I would recommend getting a planner, and I would recommend 100% not procrastinating on any project. Make sure if you have, like, a week where you don't necessarily have homework, but you have, like, a project or something, make sure you just work on that project, because I guarantee you it'll be a lot better for you. Alright, that's it.
Welcome to sophomore year in Rodriguez. She asked me to, give y'all some mistakes I've made this year. Academically, obviously. And, there was one key point that came up in my head when I went to this, when she asked me this question. And it was procrastination, because I did procrastinate a lot. We had a lot of CRAs, and I would do them the night before, or we'd have assignments that I would just do like 20 minutes before class even started, and that caused me a lot of stress because I was worried I wouldn't get it done. Now, at the time, when I'd push it off, I'd be like, I'll get it done, I'll push it off, it'll be fine, my grade will be great. And most times I'd get a B. This whole year, I tried to get all A's. And it just wasn't working out because I was just procrastinating a lot, and I would get a B because my work was sloppy and not good. Some advice to you freshmen is don't procrastinate, especially in this class, because you may not fail, but you will stress about it and you will not get an A. I can 100% give you that advice, just not to, because it'll give you unnecessary stress, and no one needs that in their lives at the time, especially sophomore year, because sophomore year will be your hardest year. I can promise you that. I don't know what junior year's like or senior year's like, but freshman year I was babied, and I could procrastinate on things. I didn't have to worry about when things were due because teachers were very lenient, but sophomore year is not lenient. Teachers are not lenient, they do not baby you anymore, and they will give you work after assignment after assignment after assignment. So my mistake is I procrastinated.
Hey guys, I'm here and I'm a cat, and I'm here to tell you the mistakes to not make. I just left for a little snack. It's fine. Ha, that's not me. I'm me. Ha, goofed you. And I'm Ashton Kutcher, and this is Goofed, and there's the camera. Get out. Get out. I used you for the goof. You can leave now. Number 1, procrastination. Don't do it. It's like a drug, except it's not a drug. But it's like a drug, except it's not one. But it's like one. But it's not one. There's some ways to avoid procrastinating. Number 1, don't procrastinate. That's a surefire way to not procrastinate, by not procrastinating. Number 2, get yourself a planner. So a planner is always a good idea. We stan a prepared sister. We love a prepared sister. We stan her. That's so lame. Like, who even writes on paper anymore? Like, what are we, in like the 1900s? Like, who writes on paper? You can You can get an app on your telephone, on your cellular phone. You youngsters and your technology, you can get one on here. Ooh. Number 2, don't go easy on your group mates. So if your group mates are just like not doing anything, give them a warning. Give them an email warning. Have a meeting with them. Fire them. Don't just let them. Don't just be like, I can do this. This is fine. This is totally good. This is all chill. We're doing good here. I'm doing everything, but it's fine. Don't do that. Autobots roll out.